So someone I recently matched with on Bumble asked me why I was on the app, which is funny because people haven't been asking me that. It's not like I've been matching with many people. But my response let me actually realize that when you've gone through so many like bad relationships, sometimes you lock your heart and you just don't want to feel anymore. But I decided to go the opposite route. Now, I'm not on Bumble looking for someone to date. I'm actually on there so that I do not close my heart again. For someone who had a heart closed for almost 15 years. And you might be wondering and asking, okay, so how is you being on Bumble going to leave your heart open? Well, now when I swipe with intention. It's not just getting carried away by how funny the profile is or how cute the guy is or anything. Because I've had to unmatch with a lot of people. Like I start a conversation with them, they say something stupid, crosses a boundary, you're gone. I'm not even rude or nothing. It's just a thing whereby we don't have the same, goals. And you can tell from my profile that I'm not looking for anything. But I want to be able to still have a good relationship with men. I get it that men ain't shit. Trust me, I know. But at the end of the day, at some point in my life, I would want to be in a relationship, a real relationship, one that carries on forever, a healthy relationship. And to be able to get to that point, I need to at least be able to also remember that there are still some emotionally balanced, mentally balanced, spiritually balanced men out there. And we don't have to have anything. Like there's no flirting. I'm only talking to a couple of guys. There's no flirting. We're very friendly. We're very cordial. Their boundaries, they know. Even with them, they have boundaries too. But it's a really healthy, getting to know each other as friends. They understand that I'm not looking for anything more. And it's giving me the hope that, okay, I don't have to close off my heart totally to men or dating because I've been there for a long time, and the last person I did give an opportunity really fucked me up. But instead of me going the opposite direction, I'm going like, nah, I ain't doing this shit no more. I'm like, instead, let me develop healthy friendships with men, but with what I've learned so that I know what not to take and know what looks healthy. And I don't know, I think it's actually working because there's no pressure. There's no pressure to meet up. There's no pressure for even. I've never had a phone call with none of these people. It's just chats, just chatting back and forth. One I'm talking to, we talk about spiritual stuff. Just growth stuff. The other one we talk about business. I like that. I'm seeing different sides to men and realizing that not all men are scum, but men are scum still. Shall let's be honest. All this is to say, if you're like me and you've been really hurt by people in love and you're thinking of locking your heart again and saying no, I want to encourage you not to do that because locking your heart and becoming hardened is only just going to make it longer for you to heal. How about you understand what those lessons taught you and know how to restructure? I don't think I might be in a relationship in the next 6 months, 1 year, if I'm being honest. But I know that when it eventually happens, I've gotten to a point where I can appreciate it. I wouldn't sabotage it. And I know it will be exactly what it is I need, want, and I prayed for at that point. And that's because I'm making sure I'm being intentional about not closing my heart off. And the most important part for me is how obsessed I am with myself. Like, so I think that's why I'm not in a hurry for anything because until I get to a point where I'm like, okay, maybe now I can have space for someone else to come be obsessed about me. Because right now I'm doing that all by myself and I'm doing a great job. So I don't know who might hear this and it might encourage you. So don't close your heart off, okay? Love is an amazing thing. And when you do find it, trust me, you'll be glad you never closed up your heart.